Garfield the Fussy Cat, adapted from the Golden Book. Adapted from the Golden Book. Adapted from the Golden
This is the golden storybook and tape called Garfield the Fussy Cat. Garfield was created by Jim Davis, and the story was written by Norma Simone. Whenever you hear this sound, you'll know that it's time to turn the page. Now, let's begin the story. One sunny day, Garfield sat in the window, looking at the world outside. He saw bees gathering nectar from the flowers. He saw birds building a nest. He saw squirrels chasing each other through the trees.
It's a pretty day,
Garfield thought. He yawned.
Pretty boring, that is. How can I beat this boredom?
Garfield asked himself.
I know. I'll tie Odie's ears in a knot.
So, Garfield tied Odie's ears in a knot. But it wasn't much fun, because Odie was too dumb even to notice.
Dumb dog, dumb day.
Said Garfield.
John, I need some excitement in my life.
Said Garfield. John Arbuckle looked up from his newspaper.
Listen to this, Garfield,
He said.
Fussy Cat brand cat food is looking for a cat to star in a TV commercial. They're holding auditions today.
How terribly uninteresting.
Said Garfield.
The cat they choose gets a year's supply of Fussy Cat brand cat food.
Said John.
I'd rather have lasagna.
Said Garfield.
Plus a year-long all-expense-paid trip around the world.
Said John.
A trip around the world. That's the kind of excitement I need. Let's go.
Garfield said, dragging John toward the door. Garfield and John went to the TV studio.
We're here to audition for the Fussy Cat commercial.
John told the secretary.
Tell the Fussy Cat people that their new star has arrived.
Said Garfield. Get in line, said the secretary. There must have been 100 owners of their cats waiting to audition for the commercial. Garfield and John were at the end of the line.
A star like me should not have to wait,
said Garfield. So Garfield thought of a great trick. He leaned over to the cat next to him.
Say, did you hear about that accident over on Main Street?
Said Garfield loudly.
A truck full of fresh fish and a truck full of cream both flipped over. Main Street is one gigantic lunch.
With that, at least 50 cats leapt from their owners' arms and raced out the door toward Main Street. The surprised owners raced after them.
What's going on?
Said John.
Guess they were afraid to face the camera,
said Garfield with a smile. An assistant director asked John some questions.
Does your cat have any special talents?
He asked.
Just eating and sleeping,
said John.
Oh, and he does a great imitation of an orange beach ball.
He added, laughing.
Remind me to shred your favorite chair when we get home,
Garfield said to John. Finally, there was just one more cat ahead of Garfield. Garfield watched him audition. In front of the camera was a bowl of Fussy Cat brand cat food. Beside the bowl was a big bag filled with more Fussy Cat brand cat food. The cat walked up to the bowl, smiled at the camera, and began to eat neat little mouthfuls. Garfield jumped from John's arms and raced onto the stage.
This commercial isn't big enough for both of us,
said Garfield, bumping the other cat aside. Garfield flashed the director a big smile.
You want a cat who can eat?
Garfield asked.
I'll show you a cat who can eat.
Garfield picked up a bowl of Fussy Cat brand cat food, flipped the food into his mouth and swallowed it in one gulp.
Amazing!
Said the director. But Garfield didn't stop there. He ripped open the big bag of Fussy Cat brand cat food and began pouring the food into his mouth. In an instant, he had finished the entire bag.
Incredible!
Shouted the director.
We found our Fussy Cat!
Said Garfield. The director planned to shoot the commercial that very afternoon. There was a lot of preparation to do. First, he brought in a hairdresser for Garfield.
Just to trim off the tummy.
Said Garfield. At the same time, a manicurist filed and polished Garfield's claws. Then, the wardrobe people brushed Garfield's fur until it was smooth and shiny. Garfield purred happily.
This is the life.
Thought Garfield.
The bright lights, the cameras, the excitement. I was born to be a star.
This is great, Garfield.
Said John.
Thanks to you, we'll soon be off on a year-long trip around the world.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Arbuckle.
Said the director.
Only Garfield will be going on our world tour. But we do have a nice Fussy Cat brand cat food calendar for you.
Our tracking.
Gee, thanks.
Said John sadly.
I'll send you a postcard.
Said Garfield. Now Garfield was having second thoughts about his new exciting life. He hadn't counted on being apart from John and Odie for a whole year. He thought of all the dumb things Odie would do in a year, and all the dumb things John would say. Garfield would miss all that.
It's tough being a star.
Said Garfield.
Fortunately, I'm big enough to handle it.
It was time to start filming.
Here's all your cat has to do.
The director said to John.
He goes to the bowl marked brand X, sniffs it, and walks away. He does the same thing with the bowl marked brand Y. But when he comes to the bowl marked Fussy Cat, he gobbles it down. Any questions?
When do I get my nap break?
Said Garfield with a yawn.
Places, everybody!
Said the director.
And action!
Garfield walked up to the brand X cat food. He sniffed it and walked away.
Good, good.
Said the director. Then Garfield sniffed the brand Y cat food and walked away.
Excellent, excellent.
Said the director. Finally, Garfield came to the Fussy Cat brand cat food. He sniffed it carefully. He leaned closer to the bowl. He opened his mouth.
That's it, that's it.
Said the director. Suddenly, Garfield felt very full and very sleepy.
I think I overdid my audition.
He said. And with that, he fell fast asleep, face down in the food.
Cut! Cut!
Yelled the director. That night, John fixed Garfield a special lasagna dinner.
You know, Garfield,
Said John.
I'm glad you didn't make that commercial. Odie and I would have missed you.
Said Odie in agreement.
I guess the part wasn't right for me.
Said Garfield. But he didn't really mind not being the star of a commercial.
After all,
He said.
I'll always be the biggest star in this house.
Garfield and the Space Cat.
Garfield and the Space Cat, a little golden book. Created by Jim Davis, story by Leslie McGuire. Garfield was enjoying his 15th nap of the afternoon when his favorite smell in the whole world floated past his nose. In a flash, he was up and racing to the kitchen. Sitting unguarded on the counter was a freshly baked pan of lasagna. Say your prayers, lasagna, warned Garfield. You are about to be gobbled. Garfield pounced. At the last second, John snatched the pan away. Instead of lasagna, Garfield wound up with a mouthful of countertop. No, you don't, Garfield, said John. I'm taking this lasagna to a dinner party. I'll get you for this, grumbled Garfield. John tossed Garfield out of the house. I can't trust you with this lasagna, said John. But if you behave, I'll bring you the leftovers. I wouldn't eat your old lasagna if it was the last lasagna on earth, replied Garfield. Well, maybe I would. Still hungry, Garfield decided to check the garbage cans in the alley behind the market, but all he found in the garbage cans was garbage. So imagine Garfield's surprise when he lifted the last lid and came face to face with a cat who looked just like himself, but with 2 silver antennas sticking out of his head. Who are you? Said Garfield. I am Fieldgar from the planet Catalan, said the new cat in a crackling, beeping voice. Who are you? I'm Garfield from down the street, said Garfield. Do you mean that you're from outer space? Outer space, actually, said Fieldgar. What's a space cat doing in a garbage can? Asked Garfield. Garbage can, said Fieldgar. This is my Stratospace cruiser. It has 4 Corellium engines and a top speed of 50,000 warps per hour. Well, it could use a new paint job, said Garfield. Climb out of there and I'll show you around my planet. Fieldgar looked around cautiously. All right, he said, but we'll have to keep an eye out for the cosmotes. They've been chasing me across the entire universe. We'll be careful, said Garfield, though he didn't know what Fieldgar was talking about. Fieldgar stopped at the end of the alley. What are those funny-looking creatures? He asked. Those are people, said Garfield. They think they run this planet, but we cats are actually in charge. We don't have people on Catalan, said Fieldgar. Sounds like a great place to me, thought Garfield. This is my vet's office, said Garfield. A vet is an animal doctor. Watch out for people with needles. We don't need doctors on Catalan, said Fieldgar. We cure everything with food. Garfield really liked the sound of that. Garfield took Fieldgar home to meet Odie, but when Odie came bounding out of the house, Fieldgar gasped in terror. It's an evil cosmot, cried Fieldgar. Run! Garfield grabbed Fieldgar. That's not an evil cosmot, he said. That's a dumb dog named Odie. He looks just like a cosmot, said Fieldgar in a shaky voice. Too bad for the cosmots, said Garfield. When Odie saw 2 cats like Garfield, he was even more confused than usual. Finally, he decided to give both of them a big, wet lick. Yuck, said Fieldgar. He may not be evil, but he sure is sloppy. Fieldgar decided that he had better blast back into space before the real cosmots tracked him down. He and Garfield were walking back to the garbage can cruiser when suddenly a spaceship shaped like a giant dog dish zoomed out of the sky right toward them. Cosmots, cried Fieldgar, diving behind a tree. The spaceship landed in a cloud of smoke and dust. Out jumped the cosmots, who indeed looked just like Odie. They headed straight for Garfield. They think you're me, Fieldgar shouted. Take cover. I can handle these dopey dogs, said Garfield. But they'll shoot you with their pasta blaster, said Fieldgar. What's that? Asked Garfield. Before Fieldgar could explain, one of the cosmots blasted Garfield with something that looked and smelled like warm tomato sauce, cheese, and noodles. Poor Garfield, cried Fieldgar. Hey, said Garfield, licking the messy stuff from his lips. This tastes just like lasagna. In fact, it is lasagna. Blast me again, Garfield shouted to the surprised cosmots. Come on, give it your best shot. Make my day. The cosmots had never met a cat who could stand up to their pasta blaster. They all yelped as they scrambled back into their spaceship and zoomed away. Come back, cried Garfield. I'm still hungry. You didn't get hurt, said Fieldgar happily. On the contrary, I think I gained a few pounds, said Garfield, patting his tummy. Thanks for saving me, Fieldgar said. That was very brave of you. I can lick any lasagna in the universe, said Garfield proudly. When they got back to Fieldgar's spaceship, it was filled with trash. Why would anyone put this junk in my cruiser? Asked Fieldgar, frowning. Garfield tried not to laugh. Finally, the spaceship was ready to go. I'm going to send you a medal for bravery, promised Fieldgar. I'd prefer a pasta blaster, said Garfield. With a wave and a roar, Fieldgar blasted into space. You know, I'm really going to miss him, thought Garfield sadly. But not as much as I'm going to miss those cosmos. Then Garfield had a happy thought. Hey, I wonder if John saved me any of that lasagna he made. The end.